And then 74, General Mills introduces the revolutionary Pop Rocks.
Oh, Pop Rocks. Where are you? We got them right here.
Yep.
I'm going to do this.
Oh, no.
I have to. Dolores can remember this, and people used to tell us that you would die if you ate too many.
Yep.
Okay, no.
There we go.
I won't be able to stop now.
Now we'll have to call 911.
The only bad thing is watermelon. I'm still going. But that was the thing. If you had that with Coke, you'd die. So I'm sure we all tried it, and we're all still here. Ugh.
All right.
You have to keep going because I'm still popping.
Yeah.
A love like mine, you know that love is true. Poor fat baby back blue.
Gdayall, and welcome to episode 43, Retro Candy.
42.
43. We made a mistake. No, actually, I didn't make a mistake. You didn't make a mistake.
Who made a mistake?
Brendan made a mistake.
All right.
No, it happens occasionally.
He's going to cut all this out, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
Yep, that'll be it. There is a great quote. Candy is childhood, the best and bright moments you wished you could have lasted forever. That's by Dylan Lauren, who is Ralph's daughter, who just has a big giant candy shop in New York.
down the block from Bloomingdale's.
That is
if you're
right.
familiar with New York, and it sells all the candy you can buy everywhere else, but just for like $3 more each bar.
And it just looks pretty when you
It
walk
looks
in.
good, yeah.
Yes. I think people go in to take Instagram photos.
Yes.
And then leave some of them. Now, to make sure that we embrace our entire audience, Phil, it's also, candy also means sweets and lollies. For the British and Australian listeners, but this is for us.
Yeah.
But, you know, just call it candy for yourselves today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Phil, what does candy say to you?
I don't know.
Works?
Cavities.
That's right. Halloween.
Yeah, I was never a big sweet person, but I still like probably once a night, like a little bit of chocolate or something after dinner.
Just a little sweetener.
Yeah.
Yes, as we were talking before we started recording, I have many more candy-related memories. So I don't know if that's Northern California, my family, or my era.
Probably all of the above.
Probably.
Yes.
Now, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping, which you guys should be used to by now.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, I'll let you.
So the listener discount for the month of July is apple pie.
Yep, rhymes with July, APPLEPIE.
Okay, if you say so. And don't forget, if you want to contact us, this podcast at usafoods.com.au.
And there's the secret code will update monthly, so you can't use last month's this month, and the goods that we're putting on special change. Yeah, and they change. And so look for the listener discount logo on the items, and you buy some of those, and the discount will come up for you.
I would say something, this one will be something to do with candy.
I would hope so.
I would think so, yeah.
And then when I go in and buy what I've eaten, I hope I can hit that as well.
All right, so let's get to the show. We got a big one today.
We do.
All right. So all started in we're going to bring it way back, 1847.
Do you remember that?
No. And we'll walk you through the timeline of candy. It's like Suits and Ladders.
That's right. Or Candyland.
Candyland, yes.
So we're going to go over a decade at a time, and you can see when the most fun decades are, I think.
Yeah.
And along the way, if things are in the store or we do get them, or they're coming back, we'll let you know. Which it's amazing, the selection that's still around after many, many years.
Yeah, it doesn't go away, it just changes sometimes, or they make new things out of the same flavors.
Or a bunch of
Reese's is great for that.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they started with the Reese's cup, and then now they got like 48 different types of Reese's.
That's right, whatchamacallit, and all these things. And I think also different eras of people get a bit of finances behind them as we get older, and then we demand to have stuff come back. Because there's a few things that have reemerged over the years as well. Yeah. Now, I'll pitch the first fact. It's a cultural fact today. We're going to be fancy.
Oh, culture. Yeah. I did practice for that. I went to the doctor and he said I need to do a cultural sample or something.
I think it might be.
Started playing Beethoven. Yeah.
Oh my God. I think it might be different than that, but let's see. Candy dishes are designed to make people feel welcome in a home, and they are a traditional form of hospitality in many cultures around the world. I think I saw many more candy dishes at home. My mother has one, which her friends love to. Like, they walk in. My cousin Nyla,
Right.
who is only like 10 years younger than my mom, she's like, ooh, and she'll look. I do that. Dolores does that when she visits. We've got one over here that's in the shape of a Hershey's Kiss that has kisses in it. The dentist used to have them.
That's job security.
That's exactly right. You know, the
I'm another lolly. I got a payment on my Mercedes next week.
Have more. Take one back. And then, you know, a lot of businesses at home had them, but remember how you couldn't, they said be careful when you took the mints at the front counter at the restaurant. Yeah. Use the spoon, because...
Oh, yeah. You stick your dirty hands in there.
That's exactly right.
Tastes like soy sauce.
So, yes, that's the cultural fact. And so I think candy makes us feel warm and cozy.
And here's a thing for you. If you want to find a new candy dish or candy dish anywhere,
yes.
Every op shop has dozens of
them.
them.
Yes, that is true. And if I didn't have a dog that jumped as high as a goat, I'd have one down lower.
Yeah. And they'll eat all the candy.
That's exactly right. Okay.
So now we're to Cracker Jacks we're going to talk about. That's fun fact number 1. Number 2. There's another error.
No, well, it's Cracker fact number. I know. Brendan.
All right. So Cracker Jacks has been around forever. Okay.
Yes.
And even though it's a snack, but it's a candy-coated snack.
That's
so you got candy-coated popcorn and peanuts.
Oh, it's a good treat.
Yeah, and remember the great prizes you used to get? Now you get garbage.
You do. I wonder how many couples were temporarily engaged, you know, had that as their temporary engagement ring.
Yeah, well, you never find a diamond ring at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box. Somebody sang that. Yeah, meatloaf.
Meatloaf, yes.
Okay. So, you know that there's Jack, who was named after the grandson.
Right. That's the pin on the front.
And the dog.
Right.
So, the Jeopardy question today. Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the name-o of the doggo?
And his name was Bingo.
Oh,
Bingo was his name.
Oh, please no. Why do we do that? Okay.
I don't know.
So how do you spell it? I know. B-I-N-G-O. B-I-N-G-O. So we got to repeat it, right?
Yeah. That is it. I won't do the whole clapping for you because it brings bad flashbacks from Mrs. Holden, grade 1.
Yeah, so Cracker Jacks came out in 1893.
Jeez.
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
And just like everything else, first introduced at the World's Fair in Chicago.
What did we do before the World's Fair? Like, what was it? Just a...
Well, that was like the big release thing.
It was. Everything. Everything comes from that.
And then just not too long after that, 1908,
yes,
was they made the famous song, Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
And it has Cracker Jacks in it.
And it's still religiously sung during the 7th inning stretch. Mm-hmm. And made famous in Chicago by Harry Carey. Because he used to do, if you watch the movies or watch with Bill Murray, he even did one with Harry Carey singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
I did not know that.
At Wrigley Field. Named for a bubble gum, a chewing gum. Yes.
That's a good old American tradition.
Yes. Oh, Harry Carey.
Oh, wait. And we've got a presidential fact. Ronald Reagan.
Nancy or Ronald?
Well, you know, Ronald was the front.
Yes.
And I reckon she would have taken some of these away from him if he was naughty.
I think Jill is the new Nancy.
You never know. Just 2 weeks in a row, Phil.
What?
Just bring it up. Yeah.
Just bring up facts.
Well, I'll just say
presidential facts. I'm just bringing up another one.
At least she's a college professor.
She told him to wake up the other day.
Move on.
We'll see if she's into astrology, and then we'll move on. Yes. Okay. Ronald Reagan, the 40th president, so we've talked about, used to have, I think it's Gollitz, mini jelly beans as governor of California. We have such good governors.
Yeah.
We had Arnie, the governor. The company introduced Jelly Bellies, and for his inauguration festivities, sent 3.5 tons of blueberry, berry cherry, and coconut Jelly Bellies for the inauguration celebrations. And look, Jelly Bellies, out of all the flavors you could have, from cotton candy to jalapeno to whatever.
Ronald had to have licorice.
Yeah. Yes, and quickly, we'll just run on to our theme that we have.
The rant? No. Oh, who got ripped off?
Who got ripped off.
Yes.
There is, I think the doco name is The Candy Man. If you want to hear about the history of Jelly Bellies.
And how they got ripped off.
So ripped off. It's well worth checking that out on the internet and see who's streaming it.
Okay, we're going to have a tasty break or a sweet break right now. And we'll be right back.
Okay, so now we're back, and we're going to go way back again to 1847 and beyond.
So this is sort of the beginning of, there's Oliver Chase invents the machine for cutting lozenges. So hence, this is going to be the start, which is born later on, of Neko Wafers and probably butterscotch discs that we have here.
Oh, yeah, cutting all. So it's like making
cough drops and
and,
all of that. So
and pills. Well, the same thing.
Well, yes, it's all addictive too, some of it. And in 1848, John Curtis produces the first branded chewing gum.
Made from tree sap.
Yum! Yeah. State of Maine spruce gum. It's a crime we don't have that anymore.
I know.
I'm so sad.
I remember the brand Curtis. Wasn't it Blackjack?
Yes.
That's made by Curtis, yeah.
And
then it comes out every once in a while.
Yeah, Mom sometimes sends that to me when it's out because I do like the Blackjack gum. Yeah. And you go.
And then the first in 1854, the first package of Whitman's chocolates hits the scene. Bang!
A sweet year, 1854. Yeah. We'll go back to Little House on the Prairie. And 1864, so it took 10 years for the first chocolate-covered liquid center cherry.
Now, that I remember as a kid.
I love those.
I just bring that up because that was one thing that we always had, like during the holidays, somebody always bought a box. I don't know whether it was Sellers or whatever brand. And, you bite into it and like drips all over you.
Yeah, you had to make sure you
pop
pop it.
Sticky and, yeah.
And I thought that too. I don't recognize the Sella brand, but I always remember having those.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really quite like those.
And now we got that other one, right? A big cherry.
Big cherry. Yeah. So it's sort of like a new guy in the middle with its sort of.
Yeah, and it's really big. Yeah.
It is. But I like the liquid ones. That's always dangerous.
Yeah, unless they melt.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Yeah, you gotta make sure they're cold.
And the Windery, yep, candy company created candy corn, which over 100 years later is still the best-selling Halloween candy. But originally, because we've talked about this one before, they changed the colors around for different holidays. It was and it kind of grew into being
candy corn. Yeah.
And
we talked about it. Like you try eating like the little bottom because you think it's chocolate. It tastes the same as all the others. Yeah.
And we get Zach's and Brock's. Yeah. That's what we usually get in the store. Now I'll have
Then we got the Piedmont Candy Company in 1890.
And I have
a bag
got one
right here.
This is my personal stash.
Bag doesn't look like it's from 1890, but
no, this one Ainsley got for my birthday, and I haven't opened it because once I open this sucker, everyone in this house
wants
it.
And they're soft.
No,
right?
you're not having it, Brendan.
Those are soft.
Yeah, they're hard on the outside, and then once you let it crack, and then they get powdery, and they're magnificent. I love.
That's that's like the type of thing that my brother-in-law Norman used to make with the Planters roasted peanuts and put them together.
Did he?
Yes.
That sounds fantastic.
But he used to use the little Dinamis, the small ones, but they have the same taste.
Oh, that's a good idea. I might have to give that a try.
But you gotta find roasted peanuts. I don't know where you gotta get them.
I don't know.
We would bring them in, but to do them like
the Planters.
Any peanuts. The Department of Agriculture and Fisheries makes you go through 6 different tests.
Jeez.
So before you, okay. So you can bring them in. Well, we got to test it first. Not 1, not 2, but 6. And
every test will cost. Yeah.
So every time we bring it in, will cost like over $1,000.
Oh.
So if you bring in like 6 cases, that costs you $200. Well, there's another $1,000 on top of it. Yeah. So.
What do they think we're going to plant them? Like what's going on?
Not ask.
So there you go. So sometimes people, when you ask questions, this is the reason we can't get some things in.
Yeah.
Oh, 1893. Here's another one of my favorites.
Yep. Not mine.
No, Phil hates them with a passion, but good and plenty.
Great ads.
Yeah, they did the
Charlie. Yeah, Charlie said, love my good and plenty. Not me, Charlie. I spat him out. I couldn't believe all that advertisement as a kid. I go out and had a nickel, bought a box, opened it up, took a bite, and I hate liquor.
A box of disappointment for you.
It's like having a bite of a beet.
If they could only make a licorice beet dish for you, that would be perfect. And this is actually the oldest retro candies still produced.
Oh,
The Good
really?
and Plenties.
Oh,
Yeah.
1893.
Yeah. So, and it's the way, even though, so that's candy. I don't know if peppermints are qualified differently, but that is the oldest one in its original sort of form.
Yeah, I
So-
imagine the peppermints would have been like really a drugstore item
Yeah.
because it's good for your stomach.
And
peppermint.
actually, we were talking about my candy experience, which does tie into this producer. At the drugstore, you used to get the candies and things in a drugstore, and I had my godfather was a pharmacist, so I used to go down to that pharmacy a bit and get a few different things.
Rubino's pharmacy on the corner by Elsie's was no, you didn't. You got drugs there, and
That's it.
yeah, there was no candy. Maybe truth lozenges, which are
Yeah.
like candies anyway.
Yeah, Ludens.
Oh God,
I love it. Can we get more cherry ones in, sir?
Ludens and Smith Brothers.
I didn't have
Hold for the
those.
Smith Brothers. Yeah.
I can still, you can smell the pharmacy. I can still smell it when
Yeah.
you walk in. Yes, it was very good seeing my Uncle Tony behind the counter. Now, in 1893, was this sort of, it's not candy, but it still fills the bill. Juicy fruit and we're Wrigley's Spearmint. People still want them.
Yeah. Well, juicy fruit is the first. That's like one of the first things I remember. That my mother gave me. I don't know. We were traveling or going on the train because they used to be at the train station.
Yeah.
So you put the penny in, you get like a juicy fruit stick, and she used to give me one of those. To
Did
shut
she
me
rip
up,
it in half?
I don't think so.
My
No, I think I
grandmother-
got the whole.
I
thing, you know.
only got
But I
half.
remember how like oh wow, this is sweet and it's good, and don't swallow it. Yeah.
They were, and it used to hold its flavor a bit,
Yeah.
but at the bottom of my grandma's bag and my mom, there was always some cough drops, a tissue, and gum. And then mom would,
So do you put your chewing gum on the bedpost overnight?
No.
That was a great song.
that was a good song. Yeah, no, mom would always rip them
Does
in
your
half.
chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Yeah, good. Okay. And then 1894.
Yes.
Good old Milton.
Oh,
Milton
God
Hershey.
bless him.
Yep, creates the first American candy bar.
The Hershey bar.
The Hershey bar. Never one of my favorite, but I always like the almond bar.
Yeah, I like
And I know
Hershey's with
yours
almonds.
too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. In 1896, a New York confectioner introduces Tootsie Rolls.
Let me see those Tootsie Rolls.
Let me see the Tootsie Roll. Yeah, 1994, 69 boys cracked up on a spot.
Hup, hup, there it is.
Well, he didn't know that song was coming, but that was named after his daughter's nickname, Tootsie. And I think
Yeah.
my grandfather used to call me Toots.
Yeah, well, my
Occasionally.
grandmother's dog was Tootsie. Yeah, Toots.
How you doing, Toots?
Tootsie, Tootsie. Yeah, my father used to call all the ladies Tootsie. Hey, Toots. Yeah, but that was the day, you know. That
It
yeah,
was?
like over here, they call them Sheilas. But
Yeah.
they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't.
No.
Unless you're trying to be retro
Yeah.
or slapped. One of the
so
two.
one of the two. Wait, does it come in that order?
Yeah, I don't know. Depends who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Now we come up to the 1900s.
Yep, and back to Hershey again. Introduces a variation that will eventually become the Hershey's Milk Chocolate Bar.
Yeah, so he's got the chocolate, then he's got the bar.
Yeah.
And then he moves on. We'll see that he expands his range.
Mhm.
1901, multicolored candy disc called Neko Wafers first appear, and it stands for the New England Confectionery Company. I'm not sure why the O is stuck on the end of it.
Company KCO. You know,
Oh, Co. Got it.
yeah.
Now, I've told this story before. If you get Neko Wafers aren't being made anymore.
No, the whole company went belly up.
Yeah,
And they
unfortunately.
looked at for people to buy it out and didn't work, unfortunately. But somebody will buy the rights to it eventually. and
It'll come back again because they do. But if you look in it, the chocolate flavored Necco was brown, and my mother actually went to a hardware store or a paint store and had that matched for a house we had once.
Okay.
So we had like Necco wafer brown house.
Yeah, which is now called mushroom brown.
Yes, or taupe.
Yeah.
Something.
And then 1904,
Yes.
Emil J. Bach.
Brock's
Brock.
candy.
Yep, lived down the block from Dino. Dino lived in Glenville, Illinois.
Really?
Nice neighborhood.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
I have a friend that lived there
And
growing
he
up.
was on a cul-de-sac. They lived down the far end of the cul-de-sac. And then, there's a mystery behind that for the heir of Brock. She went missing.
I didn't know that. I love true crime. I shall be looking that up later.
Yes.
So they opened up the Brock's Palace of Sweets, Now, I have a little bit of a connection. Chrissy Schleier, who came to our school, her dad was a rep for Brock's.
Ooh,
Oh,
sweet
she
guy.
was a good friend to know because
Yes.
she'd come in. They're trying these. We'd get samples all the time of stuff. Oh my goodness, that was a good connection.
Yep. And then 1907,
Yes.
Hershey's introduces the Kisses. And it's only called the Kiss because the machine, when it popped it out, sounded like a little.
Oh, how cute!
Yeah, that's
I
the
want
reason.
to know: does anyone ever use the little paper tab to actually open it? Because that's why
I
it's
usually
there.
do.
I never do. I just rip into it.
Ah,
Also, I just want to go back in
You're
1906.
too ambitious.
I'm usually too hungry and have no patience. 1906. So chiclets were introduced.
Oh.
Now we had chiclets when they were making chiclets, and Miley Cyrus bought us out of them when she was touring here.
Yeah.
Infused all the little mini chiclets.
Yeah.
So, and Brendan's dad, he hadn't seen stick gum because he only had chiclet sort of gum here in Australia until he used to hang out with Melbourne Zoo. Was it?
Yep.
Where the U.S. soldiers used to have a camp. Little Ronnie would go down, and I think he had a Zippo lighter, and they probably loved him coming around and having a chat. And he had stick gum, and he was actually so, not that he wasn't warm to me anyway, but when we started dating, because he had such an affinity for the American soldiers that were here, it was beautiful. So good old gum brings us all together. Now. This isn't, 1908, Toblerone.
Back. Now, you're talking about all the gum over here is pellets, right?
Right,
it's chiclet.
Chiclety type,
right.
yeah.
Okay. So one time I was going on somewhere and I wanted to have some gum and I went to the store and I bought a thing of gum over here. I can't remember the name, but it doesn't say what flavor it was.
Oh.
So it was one of the popular ones. I bought it. I bit into
PK.
it. Yeah, like PK gum or whatever. It doesn't say what flavor. It just has a color on that thing. It says a blue or white. It doesn't say that it's licorice flavor.
Oh my
So you
God.
know where that went. Yeah.
Phil, they didn't want you in their club, Phil.
Now I'm looking on the pack. Where does it say what flavor it is?
This is crap. I want my money back.
If we did something like that,
we get in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
Quarantine
there you
will
go.
be saying, no, you guys say what flavor it is. Okay.
I can feel the vent today. I know the theme.
I'm ranting.
1910s, we've got, in 1912, Lifesavers. God bless them, named after, because they look like a life preserver. And in the 80s, they used to have lifesaver holes. So just the little bits out of the middle, they say, the little tiny ones.
Mm.
And that went by the wayside.
Yeah, so too bad they didn't have that in 1930 something when the Titanic went down.
Everyone, grab your lifesavers,
Just
not the candy.
Not the candy. No. That's why they lost so many people.
Could be. It could be.
And 1912, the Whitman sampler box of chocolates debuts. And the first box of chocolates include an index to tell you which one was which. That was dangerous because before that, if you bought another box of candies and tell you which one was which, you get them and it's like,
it's a lot
who bit into that?
We have had a box of C's candy around here where you open it, there's a bunch of half pieces.
Yeah.
Who the hell did that? Yes, I get that. Oh, 1912, Gugu Clusters. Southern favorite is introduced, and they were the first candy to combine milk chocolate, marshmallow, caramel, and peanuts, and are the oldest combination candy bar in existence. Yum.
In 1914 is a Heat bar.
Ooh, still good. Now,
by L&S Heath and Company.
My grandmother was born in 1914, and she always had Heath bars in the silverware drawer.
There you go.
Right? I'd open there.
It's a birthday present.
She knew I could have those.
Yeah. And then 1914,
Again?
Mary Jane. MJ.
That's special for you guys. So that's like a peanut butter taffy, isn't it? With little bits of peanut butter.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not like smooth peanut butter neither because you could taste the little
it's crunchy, so it's sort of hard and it's yum.
Mm-hmm. And you choke on it. That had choke factor. And sometimes the Mary Janes we do get in the store.
Yes,
and
we
another
do.
one is the next one in 1916 is George Demet.
And it's still Demet.
Yep, and it's the Turtles.
Which we've got in recently.
They even named a group there for them.
And the chocolate covered caramel nut candy, and they sort of look like a turtle because the pecans stick out of the side and look like legs. But we can't get them all the time depending on weather because they do them seasonally, don't they?
Well, we bring them seasonally because they melting factor.
They do, but they're yummy.
Mm-hmm. And then 1919, founded in a small garage in Indiana.
Yes.
Clary's
Clay's candy.
Candy. Okay.
Well,
It's the classic hard candies.
Yeah, and I love we have had the range, and we've had it again recently, a couple of them.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
So my favorite was Whorehound.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice gift to give someone if you need to.
And it was done in that
cough
like
drops.
a retro bag too.
Yeah, it was. It was a matte bag, and it had cherry. It had heaps of flavors: cherry and root beer and orange and lemon and everything
Unfortunately,
else.
the guy that we were getting them from, they weren't too swift as far as getting their orders together and out. It's like they didn't want to do it. Anyway, 1920s. Here we go. The Roaring 20s.
Yeah, and this was a booming era for candy, as you will hear. We'll probably have to run through it. Okay.
Hollywood brand introduces white fudge candy bar, the Double Zero bar, which is still available. We make a zero bar. It's owned by Hershey now.
Yes, that's right. We do get in a zero bar. Yep. And then we've got Henry Heidi creates. Oh, where are you?
The Juicy Fruits.
Juicy Fruits.
This in a bag.
This isn't a bag. Box. Usually get them in a box. I love these things. And
that made famous on another Seinfeld one.
Seinfeld Resurgence. Yeah, Elaine. That's right. Yep. In 1920s, the Chuckles, a colorful sugar candy. They don't make them anymore.
Oh, Chuckles, I think.
Oh, have they come back?
Them. Yeah.
Well, if you've seen them, we should get them.
Yeah, but nobody that I know that we buy from sells them. But I did. We did get them once.
Yes,
and nobody bought them because nobody knew what they were. They were that old, right? Yeah. But they were one of my favorites when I was growing up. I remember Chuckles.
Because it had a good flavor to them. I think
it had that sugar on the outside of them.
Yeah, that's what makes everything better is the sugar on the
more
outside.
Sugar. Yeah, not enough, right?
And in 22, there was a variation of gummy candy, and it was called the Dancing Bear, but later it became known as Gummy Bears. Now, I never would have thought they've been around since the 20s, but 1922.
And now we get some of the gummy bears in, of like the Jolly Rancher gummy bears, and Lifesaver gummy bears, and then we got these new ones now, the Muddy Buddies.
Oh, those are so good.
The little gummy bears with chocolate covered.
Yum. They are. Yeah. They are. I thought that was going to be gross, but it's so good.
Yes.
And go ahead. You go ahead.
And then where are we? Oh, so Fox Cross Candy Company in 1922 creates a Charleston Chew, which we do have.
And it's a gigantic Charleston Chew.
Yeah, so you get inspired by the swinging Charleston dance. I thought it was by the name Charleston, North Carolina.
No, I knew it was from I read it was from the dances. I wasn't born with that information. 1923, the Baby Ruth candy bar, named for President Grover Cleveland's daughter.
Right, nothing to do with Babe Ruth. It's
no, Baby Ruth. Why do these people have these names? Grover, God bless him.
The Grover bar. It's like the Goober bar. Yeah.
Ruth.
Yeah.
Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth. Ruth was a popular, very religious name.
My Aunt Blynn was Ruth. Yeah. She was Ruth Blynn, but she hated Ruth, went by Blynn, which...
Jesus.
They were both bad.
They were both bad. Our family is not good for names. That's it.
And 1923, one of my always liked the Mounds bar. Mounds candy.
See, and I like Almond Joy because sometimes you feel like a nut,
and sometimes you don't. Yes, there we go. 1923, Mars introduces the Milky Way candy bar. We discussed that and about Milky Way and how it revolutionized the candy bar.
It did, and it tasted like malted milk. Yep. It was the first one with nougat in it in the center.
Yep, thanks to his son that came back, got arrested, found his father again, and over having a milkshake, why can't we make a candy bar that tastes like this?
I love it.
And they did.
And I wonder if he would have come up with some sort of beer if they were having a rehash in the bar rather than the milkshake shop.
And then and tell the audience that the Australian one tastes nothing like the American one.
It's not the same. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just come and get or whatever. But we have them in our shop.
And 1924, another one that we have in the shop, Akron Candy Company creates the Dum Dum.
I love Dum Dums. I love the.
Could you call them Dum Dums anymore?
No, you
that
could
be
not.
Politically incorrect?
No, it would not be good. But the cream soda is my favorite, and then you've got the root beer would be my second favorite, and they always had them at the bank.
So you could mix them together, have a creamy root beer.
You could. I think I have when we get them occasionally because we give them out to kids in the shop when we get them. I might have a few.
Oh, you might sneak a few.
Stashed
Just to
in
make
them.
sure that that's safe for the kids.
Well,
to
I
eat.
do. I have to make. I have quality
Quality
control when it
control.
comes with that, and great childhood memories with those. In 1925, Hershey introduces the first milk chocolate bar with peanuts, and here we have.
Yeah, Mr. Good Bar. I
Mr.
thought it was
Good
just a
Bar.
movie.
No, that came later. We don't want that association. Although Richard Gere was really handsome in that movie. Looking for Mr. Goodbar.
Not
Not
a favorite.
the same.
I don't like peanuts and chocolates.
Oh, I that one I like
I
because
like almonds
I agree with you on that one.
or walnuts. Yeah.
Oh, now 1925.
Yep.
Honey flavored taffy bar made with almond bits, bitter honey.
Bitter honey. Yeah, that's good.
That was big when I was a kid too. The dentist would have loved that
Yeah.
too.
I never chewed it. I always like just sucked on it.
Sucked on it.
Yeah.
I maybe it's the impatience in me, but and you had to rip them off. They were on that like sort of
Yeah.
paper, and you had to try to break them.
without getting the paper.
That's exactly right.
1926, Milk Duds.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
You know it's good with milk duds too. Often we can't get them in, or we get them in seasonally because if they melt, it's a
Yeah, they stick
one
together.
single dud.
Yeah, it's a dud, milk dud. That's what they say. What's wrong? Hey, look, these are no, they're not because they're all stuck together. It just goes with the name.
Yeah, no
They're
duds.
duds.
It's a special edition.
You're right.
Now, when you get them,
It's
if
a
you
multi-pack. One.
they're actually good if you sprinkle them. If you're making brownies,
Yeah.
put some milk
See, I'm
duds.
not the thing is I'm not a caramel or
right
caramel
caramel person.
because I didn't like getting stuck in my teeth. Too much to
Okay.
try to get out. And 1928, Heat Bars introduced the first covered toffee bars. So toffee is like a Butterfinger.
Yes, crunch. So you crunch, and it was chocolate covered, and they were only sold by the dairy salesman.
Oh,
So milk.
make them special. That's
that
why.
way.
So the milkman had something to bring besides milk.
Ain't that the way?
Yeah, no, I think there was a little conniving in there.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. 1928, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Ah,
Oh,
and it's still a classic.
yeah, and it's probably one of the best-selling ones.
Uh,
Now, I like to know what the deal was when Hershey bought out from Reese's.
mm.
And I like to know how they got ripped off.
And at the moment, we've got like the full range. So you can play around. I like my peanut butter to chocolate ratio different. So I like we have mini cups that aren't wrapped. So they've got more peanut butter than chocolate,
Oh,
like the miniatures do.
Yeah.
And the big cup,
the big cup. That's
has-
what it,
yeah,
the
so
big appetite. Yeah.
depending how that is. Okay, hit the 30s, Phil.
Okay, the 30s. M&M's introduces the M&M Mars because
Yes.
M&M's started by Milton Mars. I think his name was Milton. No,
Well, it
was
makes
Milton
sense with
Hershey.
M.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
It was Mars and Milner, who used to be the accountant for Hershey.
Right, that's, yes.
And then he came back after he had the outing with his father, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a whole big story. See it on TV. And that's how they came up with the Snickers bar.
Named after their horse.
Snickers.
Oh, that's cute. And I ate, I think, my own weight in Snickers bars when I was pregnant with Ainsley. That's all I wanted was
And in
Snickers bars.
1930,
Yes.
D.L. Clark invents a Zag Nut Bar. We got one right there.
Right here.
Yeah, and that's sort of like a preempted
It's sort of like,
Butterfinger.
it's like a non-chocolate covered Butterfinger. It's
Yeah.
like the inside to it.
Yeah.
They're very yummy.
So, and I guess then they covered it with chocolate, and it became the Clark Bar.
There you
Ah, see, I figured that out all on my
go.
own.
You are very good. At 1931, still a very, what we have these in the shop, and
Yeah.
they are huge favorites.
The Tootsie Roll Pop.
So it's the first novelty candy since they combined two candies,
Yeah.
two in one.
Where'd you get that from? Yeah.
Sorry.
And yeah, so that is quite conventional because I remember every kid used to like it and break it open to get to that chewy middle.
Yeah, and it was like how many licks to get to the middle of a Tootsie Pop, and if you got close, it was nice crunchy with the chewy because the girl with no patience obviously did that.
Now here's a look. Now they did make 3 different sizes really. So they got the miniatures,
Yes.
which we sell in a bag of like 200, and they're quite small. And then you got the ones that in the 8-pack, which is the
Like a
bunch
bouquet.
of pops they call
Yep.
it. And they're probably almost the original size. And then you got the ones that sold individually, which are a little bit larger than these, which
Yep.
are probably more to the original size.
That is right, and they're great. Like the miniatures are great for Halloween too because they're all pre-wrapped.
Mhm.
And
And they're hard, so you can't stick a pin in them or anything.
No, that's right. So you don't have to have that. Your parents don't have to eat that one or have it taken to be X-rayed. The Frere Pan Company, which is located in Chicago, who makes lots of different candies, a lot of them kosher. I remember looking up for a customer, introduces Red Hots.
Yeah, Red Hots. We had no. We get the other Hots.
We need to get more Red Hots in.
Yeah, that's right. We do get them.
We do get them. We haven't had.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're also good. My friend's mother, Marcia, she puts in Red Hots in her apple pie.
Oh yeah,
which we talked about in the pie episode. Yes, so they melt and you get a pink apple pie.
And in 1933, Kraft introduces the caramel flavored candy that eventually known as Carmel Squares,
which she used to make
caramel apples.
That's right, and it is a huge holiday demand we get. And we get at the moment, we don't have the Kraft ones, but we've got Shari milk caramels, which are very good, but my dentist would be sad with me if I went into that. And 1936, we've mentioned him a while back, or his brand. Breaking from tradition, William Loudon, like Loudon's cough drops, introduced the Fifth Avenue candy bar.
Wow.
Which we've had in.
Yeah,
get the Fifth Avenue.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's owned by Hershey now.
Yeah, and it's
like everything else.
It's like a Butterfinger, isn't it? Is it that one? Yeah,
very, very similar.
And 1939, thank God for Hershey's miniatures, because everyone's candy dish and Halloween bag is
all full of miniatures.
All full. So you get, what do you usually get? You get special dark milk chocolate,
Crunch,
and Mr. Goodbar.
And Mr. Goodbar.
And if you at my mom's house, all the crunches go to her.
Yeah,
that's it.
And 1940s now.
Yes.
So M&M's plain chocolate candies are introduced that during the war period. That's what they were first done, because they melt in your hand, not in your mouth.
No, melt in your mouth, not in your hand.
Right. You know what I meant.
I did follow you.
I'm dyslexic and brain.
And the Mason Company introduces dots. Here we are.
So we got the dots.
We've got these at work right now. You shake them for you.
They're good and gummy like.
Oh, they are so good. The cherry is the best flavor. Go red.
Yep. And then 1949. Junior Mints.
Junior Mints, which I don't have here, but we do have, and they are magic.
Made famous again by Seinfeld. That was a big comeback.
That was.
Right. Nobody wanted them until that episode. Then all of a sudden, bang.
The power that show had.
Yep.
1949, we've got the Smarties Candy Roll Wafers are introduced, called Candy Pills. Now, in Australia, they're called Fizzers. Now, to bring back some of these things you just don't know the names of, but they're the roll of candy. And they're different colors. And then also we have, which I never knew the name of, Sprees. And they are those Smarties covered in candy.
Oh.
Right, so they're panned in the candy. And these used to be in those vending machines for like a nickel, where they had different candies. You got a handful of candy.
It was in a penny at one time? Yeah.
Not my time.
Not
but
your
yes,
time,
probably.
yes.
I think mine might have been a quarter. But I used to love those, and I got so excited like a little kid at work, because I was like, oh my gosh, I never knew
That's
the
right.
name
It went
of them.
from a penny to a nickel to a quarter.
To a quarter.
It didn't even stop the dime.
No.
A dime ain't worth, nickel ain't worth a dime anymore. I heard that before. Yeah.
And in Australia, these things are called Fizzers. Brendan wants me to tell you people, so you know. There you go.
And they're available to us. And then 1949, Leaf Confectionery came out with the chocolate-covered milk balls called Whoppers.
Yum.
Yeah, which is the same as like the Maltesers.
Yeah, that's right. Except I do think Whoppers are better.
There you go. Well, we get those once in a while. Okay.
Yeah, but they are more malty. That is
true. And
true.
then now we're into the doo-wop era.
The 50s. The 50s. So we've got, in 1950, this is my end of the country, Sam Altschuler creates the Annabelle Candy Company, named after his daughter, and his first product is the Rocky Road Candy Bar, which we get in, and it's yummy and beautiful.
Imagine calling your daughter Annabelle.
Annabelle!
That was like on...
Ruth.
Yeah.
Excuse me, let's not offend any Ruths out there. I got the name Barbara. What's the story with that, Mom?
Well, it's Babs, you know.
Oh, don't you dare. I will
I
will throw something at you. You throw it off.
Okay, good. I know how to piss you off. All right, 1954, Just Born introduces Peeps in shapes of Easter chicks.
And have they ever died off? No. They have only got, now you can get.
Now they morphed into every other holiday.
Halloween, Easter. I'm surprised we don't have
Christmas.
4th of July Peeps.
No, they probably do.
They probably do. That's right. And 52, we've got
The Pixie Stix.
which I like to
We
call
got the giant one. And-
toddler cocaine.
yeah.
This isn't even the giant one. Remember they had bigger
Yeah, it was
ones?
bigger. I think
Yeah,
they reduced the
this is the
size
mid
to
one.
keep the calorie count
That's
down.
right. So it's sort of like, I think they would call it sherbet here, but it's not sour.
No.
It's just sweet
It's sweet and tart.
and tart. Now, if you guys, anyone ever watched Toddlers in Tears,
Yeah.
there was a little girl, her name was Mackenzie, but it was spelled funny.
Mhm.
And she would down a Pixie Stix, so it's all powder,
Yep.
and her eyes would bug out.
It's sort of like they did that on The Simpsons.
That's right. And then they give her a Mountain Dew. So it was just like go-go juice. There you go.
All right. I'm looking at it. Oh, 50s. So we got the Pixie Stix. And then 1958, the candy necklaces. You know, that was
Yes.
a little like Smarties with a little string around it. And you give to, that was
Yeah,
a
and
girly thing.
And we've had those recently in the
Yes.
watches.
Yeah, the watches or little bracelets. Yeah, so you get in, get all dirty, and then you eat it.
I
Yeah.
actually I had a watch on. I think the bag was open, so there was some there. So I had on my wrist, and someone came in my office, and I was chewing one off my wrist.
Yeah.
It was-
And then 1958, Eric Burnett introduces the Chupa
Chupa Chups.
Now, I never seen that till we came here.
No, I hadn't either, but
It's in America now.
it is,
Yeah.
and it also had 1968. It became, he said the labels became iconic, which we'll find out later. Actually, I'm just going to jump to it now. So 1969,
Yeah.
Salvador Dali
Oh.
designed the label, and he insisted that the logo always goes on top.
Yeah. Okay.
So that makes sense. I cannot get those wrappers open. So
I never had one in my life.
that's the way we used to get through mass with the kids.
Oh.
Here at Chupa Chup.
Oh.
Homily starts, hand the Chupa Chup to each kid, and they're quiet for 20 minutes.
Okay, now we're into the 60s.
Yes?
Okay, the psychedelic era. So M&M introduces Starburst fruit chews, and then the later fortified to make it healthy with vitamin C.
So healthy. That's a stretch, Phil.
Yeah.
1960, Ferrero Pan again introduces lemon
Lemon
heads,
heads.
which we do have.
Yeah.
And Johnny Leonardo gave me a box as a Kris Kringle in, I think it was Miss Petrick's class, so grade 4. And I never had one before then. And I
Yeah.
can't look at them without thinking of Johnny Leonardo.
And then 62 came out Now and Later.
Oh, now.
You could have some later.
I love, yes, you can enjoy a piece now and save
Save
some
it.
for later.
Yep.
Love
So
those.
it's taffy. And then 63, Tootsie is working on a space program. Came up with a rocket-shaped lollipop known as the Astro Pop. Yeah, I remember
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Yeah, the push pop they call them too.
That's right. And we had some of those
Yeah.
in not too, like a couple of years
And they're
back.
like 3 different flavors and look like
Yep.
a little rocket.
They were cute.
66, Flair introduces Razzles. First it's a candy, then it's a gum.
It is so cool. That had a big resurgence in the 2000s or 2010s probably with 13 going on 30.
Yep. And 66, 100 grand bar. Okay, that's nice. That's a good bar. I
That
like
is a nice bar. We
Yeah.
do get that one as well. Now we hit, I'm a child of the 70s.
70s.
Well,
yeah.
you were having more fun in the 70s than I was. So I was just,
working already.
you were working, I was kicking around.
Making bagels.
I was running for nuns at this time. So in 1970, Frank Galatoli introduced a treat called Marsmen, which was only available in Canada. This it was sour then sweet treat later became Sour Patch Kids.
That's the beginning.
Yes, so it took a while, which we will see in the timeline before it gets to the States.
And then in 71, Nestle's introduces Laffy Taffy. So if you haven't noticed that each wrapper has a little joke on it.
I have never noticed that. I think it's because the taffy sticks to the wrapper. We're trying to I just if it
Well,
when
maybe
I'm
you
done.
should do it.
And we have
Read it before you open it.
that's right. And we've got Laffy Taffy in because people demand it.
Yes.
And we have it.
And then 74, General Mills introduces the revolutionary
Yes.
Pop Rocks.
Oh, Pop Rocks.
We got
Where
those
are you?
somewhere.
We've got them right here.
Yep.
We've got a couple of flavors. Oh, actually, I'm going to do this.
Oh, no.
I have to. Dolores can remember this, and people used to tell us that you would die if you ate too many.
Yep. She's trying to. No, I can't hear it yet.
Okay, no.
There we go.
I won't be able to talk now.
Now we'll have to call 911. Anybody got the number for 911?
The only bad thing is watermelon. I'm still going. But that was the thing. If you had that with Coke, you'd die.
Yeah, oh yeah. Of course you would.
So I'm sure we all tried it, and we're all still here.
According to the nuns, anything you die. You had
That's
sex, you died.
You die.
Yeah.
So wear patent leather shoes. They reflect up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right.
You have to keep going because I'm still popping.
Yeah. Okay. 76. The Ghost Company created the Jelly Bean, the Jelly Belly. That was in 76. And we talked about that in the past.
Yes.
78. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups introduces Reese's Pieces. Not famous until further after that.
Yeah,
till
E.T..
E.T., yes. 79. Mars introduces a Twix cookie. That's a cookie bar.
Yes.
So cookies now combined with
Okay.
chocolate.
And it was amazing because I remember getting that. We had nothing like it. It was really awesome.
And in 79, Frank Richards invents the famous lickable jewelry, the ring pop.
The ring
We
pop.
get those once in a while.
We
Haven't
do.
yeah.
We do. And that's all you want in the world is a little kid with a sticky hand.
Yeah. And here we go into the 80s.
Oh, here is my glory time.
Yeah. So Rob Nelson and Jim Bouton. Jim Bouton was they're both baseball players. Jim
Yes.
Bouton, I remember watching a game where he pitched a no-hitter. And against the Mets. That's why I
Oh,
know
sorry.
that. Yeah, sorry.
I'm my
I'm
condolences.
pretty sure it
to
was
you.
against the Mets. Anyway, they came up with the Big League Chew. Much better than chewing tobacco. So it's done in a pouch, just like chewing tobacco.
Yep.
Cut like chewing tobacco.
Yes.
But it's gum.
And it is so popular.
Yes.
And now, Sean, when we were talking about candy and things, I said, do you remember what are your favorites as kids? And he said, I can remember getting a little can. It looked like chewing tobacco, skull, like
Yep.
skull, but it was shredded beef jerky.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, anything to get us in there early.
okay. 83. Angelo
Fragos.
Fragos invents the nerds.
And we have them
Yep.
right now.
Okay. And 85. We talked about the.
The liquid filled after a 122-year run.
Oh.
So Tootsie bought Sellers. So
Yeah.
there's something. So everyone knows everyone.
Yep.
And we still have it's the only liquid fill centered cherry available.
And 85. Sour Patch Kids put blue in it.
And they finally made it to the States because they've been in
Okay.
Canada all that time.
Oh, Canada.
And 89, I remember eating a few of these.
Mhm.
The Symphony Bar. So it was almonds, toffee, and milk chocolate, and it almost tasted like an almond roca,
Yeah.
like a more chocolatey one.
And they changed the form, so it wasn't the traditional Hershey sour taste on
Yes, it was lovely and smooth and sweet.
it. Okay. All right. So let's take a quick break, Barbara.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back. Okay, now let's talk about other things, Barb.
Well, yeah, because some things didn't make the timeline.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like
Well,
Dad's root beer.
so root beer barrels.
Yep.
They are a classic. And,
And they're fat free. I can see it
and
on the
that-
label.
That's exactly right, because it's all sugar
It's all
full.
sugar.
But actually, if anyone watches, Pee Wee Herman had a new movie, I think last year. It was on Netflix.
Mhm.
And pretty much the whole movie was based around his love of root beer barrels. And it's one of those candies that does actually taste like the root beer. So if you can't get to A&W, you can have one of those kicking around.
Yeah, another one that didn't make it was Flying Saucers.
Oh, those are great.
They're made in like Sweden or somewhere.
Well, yeah,
Because
because
we did get them in.
we have, yeah. And they have like a wafer on the outside.
And little beads of candy inside.
And I've actually seen a wedding cake, a retro wedding cake decorated with those on the outside.
But when they, because it's like a bread, it's like the host.
It is.
Yeah. And when it, like, if you put on something wet, it will just melt away.
Well, it's not my problem. It wasn't my wedding cake. But
Okay.
yes, maybe they did it just before. And we also have, I think,
Well, the dots. Yeah. These are things that are, we got the giant ones here.
yes.
But the little ones used to be like on a thing of like, paper that you get out of a
like a-
calculating machine.
yeah, it was like a receipt
with
size.
little dots of candy on it. You had to bite it off and try not to get the paper, which always came
You
off
always
on it.
got the paper
It
with
always
it.
came with it. Yes.
Well, and that's it. And like fun dips or
Mhm.
dip and licks, those were around. And Raisinets. Maybe is that
Yeah.
just because I'm from California and we have
The raisins.
the raisins everywhere?
Yeah, and Boston baked beans and
That's
Rolos
those.
and York peppermint patties.
and Andy's mints,
Andy's mints, yeah, and we got crows.
which is like a licorice dot.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
That is,
Okay,
and
it comes in from the same company.
yes,
Made by Tootsie now, of
maybe
course.
that's
yeah.
exactly right. So don't get those, Phil, because you hate licorice, because we all know now.
No, I won't get those.
And what about Melody Pops?
Melody Pops.
So you
Oh.
can, yeah.
It's like the
It's a
little Astro
whistle.
Pop. Oh, it's the whistle.
And then
Oh,
the
I
bottom
remember-
goes,
yeah.
it's like a trombone,
Oh.
right? And that's what the nun said, don't run around with because you'll die.
You'll die with that one too. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the blow pop.
Blow pop. Wasn't that a great thing? But you had to get all the candy off because you didn't
and
want.
it would have be a big hunk of gum, not
Oh,
like
yeah.
that little thing in the Razzles.
No, but you'd be like,
Yeah.
it was very difficult to get through.
And then, of course, when you go to the movies, then they're all in the movie boxes, which we carry a lot of movie
Yeah,
boxes.
a lot of theater
now.
boxes. So with that, we've got like Mike and Ike's,
Yep.
which
Yeah. Mike
didn't
and
make
Ike's
the
is-
list either.
Yeah, Mike and Ike's is like everybody loves Mike and Ike's.
They
and it's
do. It's
40 different flavors.
and
you
it's
know,
really
Dots and Whoppers and Red Hots and
all
Red
the good
Vines.
stuff. And
Oh,
Twizzlers.
Red Vines didn't make the list.
Or Twizzlers.
Twizzlers.
Well,
Yeah.
there's the red.
we got need a new list now.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But pretty much most of these things, we've got a version of at the shop, which is not good for me on a bad day. I have banned myself before.
All right. So speaking on a bad day, so what's some of your favorites that maybe we didn't?
Oh, okay. Now, favorite memory, I think it goes with memories because
Yeah.
I associate this. So, Parker's Market was around the corner from St. Bernard's. And I used to, get, if I left the dentist early, because, you go by yourself, right? And I had my big patch saying, don't give her food for 2 hours because she's had a fluoride treatment. So, I could go into Parker's Market and then buy some now or later's. Or Zen and I used to
have it later. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd sneak off. And Sean and I, we both like these. We were talking about the two sorts of gum or cigarette candy. One was candy.
Yeah.
The other one was a great gum, and it had powdered
Oh,
sugar
yeah,
in it.
yeah.
So if you blew on it, it blew smoke out.
Yeah. And
so,
even that
so
was
we
cool.
can all look like our parents.
Right.
Mom, not
and
you,
they even
Dad.
had cigars too.
That's
The
exactly
big
right.
bubblegum cigars.
They were great, and wax lips. Now
I
my
remember
mom
those,
liked
yeah.
those too.
You chew
And-
on them, and they
and
were like
the-
cherry flavor.
And the nip and lick
Yep.
the bottles.
The
So they're-
little bottles with the little, like it's, I'm gonna have a Coke, and it's like this little bottle. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of cordial, and then you chew on the wax.
Yeah.
What were they doing when they're trying to get us to chew on wax? Like it was really.
So no, but we did.
We did.
Yeah.
And
My friend Johnny, like he
Yes.
used to chew on his handkerchief all day. Maybe it was the starch or something in it. Yeah.
something good. I don't know. And I absolutely loved fruit striped gum.
That was so disappointing.
I know, because you had to go through a whole pack in an hour because there was no flavor.
There was no flavor. You
it was
bite
like
it. Yeah.
6 bites,
Yeah.
6 gone.
Yeah, Family Guy, they brought that up. It's so disappointing. It is true.
But I used to spend. These are the things I would spend like my pocket money on.
Yeah. So, like for me,
Mhm.
you didn't ask me, but I'll tell you anyway.
It's your turn now.
Okay.
I'm not being rude.
I remember probably when at school, world famous chocolates.
Yes.
And
we
you used
sell
to go
those.
into the room with the nuns. They let you in. Okay, you go. It's your turn to go. You went down by the class, and then one at a time go in there, pick it up, and bring it home and try to sell it. And it came in a little box. But the smell in the room was outrageous. You went into it's like going into Candyland. It was like,
It was. It's like
and it was a really good chocolate too.
it was really creamy and nice.
Yeah, and almonds in it.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, and then they had like the big hunks that you break off. But my mom, she'd take my box to work and it'd be all sold, and it was sort of kind of sad.
The other thing I remember is, because being a boy,
Yes.
buying Topps baseball cards.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
always came with a piece of gum that was totally inedible.
Yeah, it shattered.
It shattered. You couldn't eat it no matter what you. Well, and all the baseball cards, probably if you go to a place where they have old baseball cards that are like 40 years old, it's probably still smells of Topps gum.
And it probably would have the same shattering.
Yeah,
No,
no, but
difference.
I'm saying that
Yeah.
it just the smell got impregnated into the cards
Yes.
and never went away.
Yes.
The cards always smelled like the gum. If you wanted an air freshener, you couldn't get one to last that long. And then the other things that I remember, like I remember coming from school, and it should be a candy, but getting ding dongs
Oh yeah.
or ring dings at the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
ring
yeah.
dings, And I used to eat that like that was a nickel, and it was huge, and it was so chocolatey. And
Yeah.
to me, that was a candy bar to me. The other thing is one of my earliest memories going up to in the Bronx before I
Mhm.
moved to Brooklyn, going up to the candy store like for a penny had now I don't know sell OH&S and all that. No, what are you going to kill kids with this? It was like a little tin of chocolate
Yeah.
into it looked like a bottle cap, but a little bit bigger than a bottle cap, and with this little metal spoon that you would dig it out with, totally unwrapped or anything. It was like a penny, but Nowadays, the kids will be, poking each other's eyes out with the little spoon, choking on it, breaking teeth. Totally, you could never sell that. Um, and then, also back to the Bronx because of the influence of the Puerto Ricans there,
Mhm.
right? So the candy store, we used to get fresh cocoa. I think I told you that.
Yeah, yeah.
Big jars, and it went just the water from the coconut water in it, and big chunks of coconut. And that was candy. That was to us. That was
yeah.
candy. A nickel, you get like 3 huge pieces.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, and that also went to Coco Calito, man, which is ices on a little cart, a little push
Mhm.
cart. And he used to come around, and it was some Italian ices or Puerto Rican ices. But it was so good. That was it called. It was Coco Calito, which whatever comes out, cocoa is the coconut.
Yeah.
It's Coco Calito, and it was so tasty. And one time we were back in New York, and we're walking down the street going from Hell's Kitchen,
Yep.
and there was a Coco Calito, man.
Did you go?
You
I
have
to.
to.
You have to.
Yes, and it was good. Yeah, it never tastes the same, but it was still good. And it comes in that little paper cup that you chew on afterwards. That was another thing you would chew on. Other than wax bomb. Okay, so we're gonna go take a break and go into Nat Nosh. Before we do Nat Nosh, let's tell everybody where we are and what time to get there.
Okay, we are at 73 Cochrane's Road, Moorabbin. Monday through Thursday, we're open 10 to 5. Friday, 10 to 6. Saturday, we're open 10 to 5. And Sunday, 11 to 5.
And don't forget, your code for this week is apple pie.
For this month.
It's a month.
That's
July.
exactly right.
Yep.
And send us an email if you like any questions or comments to podcast@usafoods.com.au.
Okay, now, Nat Nosh.
Yes.
Ba-ba-da-da. Today, Wednesday, July the 21st, is National Junk Food Day. Woo! God, that has everything is in there.
That's right. It's a perfect theme, right?
From potato chips to burgers and
milkshakes and anything fried. And
it's like National Happy Day.
It is. It is Happy Day and Food Coma Evening.
Yeah, and then tomorrow, July 22nd, is National
Panouche Day.
Panouche. Well,
Okay,
it's like
it's a
Mr.
candy.
Ganoush. It's just a panouche.
Okay, do you know Divinity Candy?
Is that religious?
No.
Right.
It's a candy that you make like with corn syrup, and this has brown sugar in it, so it's sort of tan and caramely flavored, and you have to get it up to like a soft crack point. Like it's homemade candy with nuts in it, and my grandmother used to make it, and I think my Aunt Agnes made it, and I make it now. I had to get the family recipe, and it sounds awful, tastes magnificent.
Yeah. Well, my family never made panouches.
Well, I'll make some panouche and I'll bring it in.
Okay.
All right.
And then Friday, July 23rd, National Vanilla Ice Cream Day.
Well, that's how you judge an ice cream joint.
Yeah, it's just a good vanilla because good vanilla is good.
That's exactly right.
And then you got to, of course, you had the chocolate syrup.
It's better.
And then also with your hot dog, you have a hot dog with your ice cream because it's National Hot Dog Day.
That's right.
And
You
there's
just have
like
that
so
first.
many varieties of hot dogs. And don't you love the hot dogs here when you first came here? You put them in a pot of water and the water turns orange.
Oh yeah, and I was like,
How
why does
gross?
the hot dog have a skin on it?
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it looked like a biology experiment, not food.
They still make them that way.
I know, it's gross.
disgusting.
Yeah, I don't ever want to go to the deli counter and have to ask for a skinless something.
Yeah.
I find that I just can't do it. At no point, I'll have that one. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Now,
Now, the kosher one. Thank you.
thank you.
Yes.
Now, on Saturday, July 24th, we need after that is National Tequila Day.
Oh, right.
Reba.
Oh, Andale.
That is exactly right.
Yes, get your ass off the floor day. Yeah.
When I'm doing tequila shots, that meant I should have gone home an hour ago. That's usually how it used to run.
Yeah.
And if you want to have a laugh this afternoon, look up Pee Wee Herman doing the song
The song?
Tequila. It's very funny. You got to watch that.
All right. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor.
Yes.
And another ice cream day on the 25th on Sunday.
Perfect.
It's a National Sunday. Spelled
Hot-
a different way, but it's a National
Yes, hot
Sunday.
fu-
Hot
that's-
fudge.
That's right. So they couldn't get in trouble with church.
Yeah, but hot fudge Sunday. I love hot
those
fudge
are,
Sunday.
I do
Yes.
too. Do we have the Smuckers or the Hershey's in it?
Yeah, we got both.
Oh, okay.
You know what I like? This hot fudge Sunday, and then with the walnuts that are done in the syrup.
Oh yeah, because we've got the Smuckers one of that too.
Oh, it's
Okay.
so
Yes, I'm doing a bit of shopping this afternoon. Ooh.
On the 26th, National Bagel Feast Day. That's a new one. I never heard of bagel feast.
Did they need one?
No.
But
Like, how many bagels could you eat?
and how many people don't know what a bagel is?
Yeah. You know that Bialys. You know, I eat Bialys all the time. Tony, TC. Tony Soprano. Yeah.
Exactly right. Well, and then after you have your bagel, you
Yeah.
can have your National Coffee Milkshake Day.
That's good.
That is
sounds
good.
really good.
My Aunt Blaine used to have a coffee ice cream.
Yep.
And then the milk, and that would be it. But you can get them at a drive-through now, well-known drive-through.
Yeah.
You get a vanilla milkshake with a shot of coffee in it.
Well, how about making a coffee martini and then put it into your ice cream?
That's better,
That's
Phil.
better,
That is
yes.
much better, Phil. That one.
And then speaking of alcohol,
Yes, well.
there's on the 27th, National Scotch Day.
Woohoo.
All my Scottish friends that I can't understand.
Yes, we have grown to appreciate Scotch in the last couple of
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, my father was a big Scotch drinker, and I never liked it until just recently. I could tolerate it, but at the beginning, I don't know, maybe because of it was just so different.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's challenging, and
Yes,
it can
it is.
hurt.
when you fall, it does hurt.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And well, that's it. And next week's show
Yes.
this is exciting. Pickles.
Oh, all sorts of pickles.
I
And
like pickles.
I do
Yeah.
too.
I go to McDonald's and now I do the app thing, you know, and it has, you know, you have to choose your things so you could customize it.
Yeah.
No, I take the onions out and pickles will go to 5.
That's very cool.
Yes.
So you're not one of the people throwing them on the roof.
No.
I like pickles too. So for me, I like sweet pickles, and it
Yeah,
took
you
me,
like the bread and butter ones.
yeah, and it took me forever when I first moved here because you could only find them in the can.
Oh,
Yeah, that golden circle one, I think it
Yeah.
was, and I was like, oh, but now they've come a long way.
yes.
Not as far,
Yeah.
but we're working
There's so
on
many
it.
different varieties of pickles now.
Oh,
and
yes.
Some are good, some are better, and some are great.
Yeah,
And we'll talk all about that next week.
that's exactly right.
Okay.
And to sign off, we've got a quote from someone who's very, very handsome, Ryan Gosling. Sometimes I think that the one thing I love most about being an adult is the right to buy candy whenever and wherever I want.
Yes.
Yes, that is. And I was eating sprees at 9:00 this morning. So there you go.
Okay. And what are you having for lunch, Barbara?
I think I might move to have some fruit. I might have some raisinets.
That's for dessert. Yeah, this is the fruit. Okay, that's it for this week.
All right.
See you
we'll
next
see
week.
ya.
Bye.